What's up, y'all? We're back with our fourth Bible study. This is day 27 on the challenge. We're almost a month down now, and we just continue where we left off here at chapter 13, and we read through chapter 15. I guess a basic summary of like chapter 13 is that Job he tells his buddies, like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. He says right here, he says, you are worthless physicians, all of you. If only you would be altogether silent, for you that would be wisdom. So pretty much telling them anything that they're saying is just not right. So if they've just shut their mouths, like, they would be more wise than they are now, opening and giving their 2 cents. He also says right here, he says, though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance, for no godless person would dare come before him. So even though he's going through all this hardship, all this bad stuff's happening to him, he doesn't lose hope in God. And he still feels that, he's been a righteous man, and that things are going to turn around for him eventually, And kind of carries into chapter 14, where he just says, if someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal to come. When he says if someone dies, I think he's kind of referring to like the spiritual realm more than the physical. Kind of like being in with the renewal. It's like I think what he's trying to say here is like, can I be, not fixed, but like kind of renewed through his faith. And he says, you will call and I will answer you. You will long for the creature for your hands have made. Surely then you will count my steps, but not keep track of my sin. My offenses will be sealed up in a bag. You will cover over my sin. So here he's kind of accepting the fact that, he knows he's sinned, but he also is aware that like Jesus has paid for those sins, and he's kind of just pleading his case throughout this chapter as well. And then chapter 15, his buddy Eliphaz says, kind of just like, like he just keeps going back to the same thing. Like, you don't know everything. He asks him, he says, are you the first man ever born? Right before this, though, he says, your own mouth condemns you, not mine. Your own lips testify against you. Are you the first man ever born? Were you brought forth before the hills? Do you listen in on God's counsel? Do you have a monopoly on wisdom? What do you know that we do not know? What insights do you have that we do not have? And then he goes on to say, like, even like his father's friends are on his side, and pretty much keeps just going back to the fact that like he's going through this because he's sinned, and which he's still wrong about, and throughout this chapter, he kind of just like keeps going in on Job, and just keeps telling him like, let him not deceive himself by trusting what is worthless, for he will get nothing in return. Before his time he will wither, and his branches will not flourish. He will be like a vine stripped of its unripe grapes, like an olive tree shedding its blossom. And he's saying this is due to, right before this, he says this is due to the wicked man suffers torments. He says, and the ruthless man through all the years stored up for him. So he's pretty much saying that Job is a wicked man, and he's like, that's why he's going through this stuff, and he needs to do what he can to fix the problem. And again, he's wrong, I guess throughout this chapter, or this today's reading, the important key things that I took from it are like, even though Job is sitting here and has like his wife telling him, like curse God's name, and then his buddies are over here telling him, like you did wrong, and that's why you're experiencing this. You need to get right with God. And through all of this, Job stays strong in his faith, and he's like, I've done right, and I will not turn against God, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna wait to be renewed, and so ultimately his patience is just growing throughout this whole time. He's got people sitting around him trying to crack him, trying to break him, trying to tear him down, and ultimately he's just shutting them down, pretty much telling them, just be quiet, you don't know what you're talking about. And this made me think about like the theory of karma, and like good things happen to good people, and bad things happen to bad people. And ultimately I don't feel that's the case. I feel that as far as our understanding can grasp, that's what we run with, but when you look deeper and realize that like through these trials and tribulations that we go through in life, aren't those really what form us and make us who we are? If you have an easy life and you're never, challenged or go through hardship, like when that time does come, who are you gonna be? What is your house built on sand, or do you have a foundation? You know what I mean? So I think that we need to realize that sometimes when we're going through these hard times, that they're ultimately good. This past year I went through like kind of, I would say, like a renewal phase in my life. The year prior, I just been beating down on myself, feeling bad for myself, not doing the right things, not taking care of what I needed to take care of. And, there's many times where I just pitied myself and, sat in my room and felt bad for myself. And then kind of just realized that, like, you can either choose to do that, or you can choose to look at the bigger picture and see what is coming out of all this trouble. What can come out of all this trouble? What can you learn? What will it teach? What will these trials and tribulations teach you that you can go and help God's people, who are going through something similar? Like here, Job has his buddies pretty much telling him like, yo, this is your fault, like whatever you did, this is why you're going through this. Your kids, yeah, they died because they sinned, and that was their punishment, and so ideally, like going through this stuff, I would say you'd want to be the opposite of that. You would want to be the one who tells them, like this is God testing. He's putting you through these hardships for a reason, and he wouldn't give you any battles that he didn't think that you could handle. And through Christ we can do anything. So for Job just to never lose his faith, and essentially this isn't like they don't have the same kind of knowledge of God, I feel like, that we do nowadays. And this was kind of like something new to them at the time, and Job was just like sticking by it. He's, no matter what's going on, no matter how much hardship he's had, he's kind of just going through it. So I think that's one of like the key aspects to take away from this. And it also goes back to like, is our definition of good different than God's, you know? Um, because he knows more than we do. You know, he has the script at hand. You know, he's the one who wrote the script. So it's just something to think about today. You know, the more we get through this book, I think that's kind of like the main kind of lesson from this book, is that just our understanding is from our experiences, and we can't grasp sometimes what God is doing, you know, and we just have to sit back and trust that you know his plan is the right one, and that he's there for us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our Bible review today. I was looking, I think we have like about 10 more pages. 288, we're at 277. So yeah, we have about 11 more pages to go for this one. I'm thinking we'll start doing like, now that the chapters are kind of getting a little shorter, we'll maybe do a couple more chapters a day, maybe like 4 or 5. But yeah, we'll see. But I'm just hanging out here with Duke right now. He's over here sleeping. Today's been a good day. We woke up, got to sleep in this morning, thankfully. Went and took care of a bid, and then went and talked to my apartment complex. Been trying to get some stuff handled with them. And yeah, then I made myself some breakfast, cleaned up the house a little bit, went and worked out, went and hit a back workout. I got like a freaking, like a, I don't know if it's like a knot or like a muscle spasm or something, like in my upper left back. It's been killing me. I've been using the corner of this wall over here to like massage it. But yeah, gonna make some chicken wings for dinner. I've had chicken wings quite a bit. Had chicken wings last night for dinner. And then what else do I need to do before bed? I think that's about it. Just took Duke on a nice little walk. It's about to start storming. It's supposed to be raining here for the next like week and a half at least. So we'll see, but got my plane ticket home today. Be coming home on the 18th, right in time for my birthday. Be there for a couple days and then come back with my little brothers. So very thankful and grateful for that. What else? Oh yeah. Today I went to QT to get what was I getting at QT? Oh, I needed to get a little oil to top my oil off, and I like parked my car, went inside, came out, and there was like a sheriff sitting right in this spot, not next to me, but like he wasn't even in a parking spot. He was just like parked on the side. And I was like, oh gosh, he's just waiting for me to leave because my window tints are way too dark. I've already gotten a ticket for him. They told me I need to take them off, but I don't really want to do that, so I haven't done it yet. And I got in the car, sat there for a little while. He just kept staying there, so I was like, yeah, he's not leaving. He's waiting for me to leave so he could pull me over right when I like drive away. So I got out of my car, went inside the store, and I was like, told the worker, I was like, hey man, I was like, my car's not starting, you know, knock on wood that doesn't become a problem, but I was like, yeah, my car's not starting. Is it okay if I leave it right here in this spot for a sec? And I was like, I'll come back and grab it. He was like, yeah, it's fine. And like, luckily the house is only like 0.3 miles away. So I ended up getting out of the car, walking home, and came home, chilled for a little bit, and then I grabbed my skateboard, rode back over there. The sheriff was gone, so I got my car, came back, no ticket. So I was probably being a little paranoid, but at the same time, I'm like, I know if I drive away and get pulled over and get a ticket right now, I'm really going to wish that I had just got out and walked home. And it was not too bad of a walk either because I had just got done with the gym. So it was like, I counted as like my cardio for the day. But yeah, that's it for today. Day 27. Day 27. I feel like now it's just becoming more of the lifestyle rather than like a challenge, I guess you could say. But yeah, enjoying the process. Excited to come home, see the family. Nothing changes when we go home. Nothing changes for the birthday. We're not gonna be consuming alcohol. We're not gonna be smoking weed. We're gonna stay on path. So yeah, I'm excited. See you guys soon. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the Bible review today. We'll be back tomorrow.